The first question I had really is kind of in the years since the first film, did it surprise you that kind of what happened to Gordon Gekko and he became kind of a hero to Wall Street brokers and that kind of thing?
Not really, no. I think money was sexy in the 1980s. It was new. They made the covers of magazines. They were the new super gods. But I think people got worn and tired of it by the 2000s. And I think when this economic meltdown happened, it was the end, I hope, the end of this era. And that's what this movie marks, is sort of that period.
Was it the meltdown as well that kind of convinced you to come back?
Yes, I wouldn't have done the picture without the meltdown, because there was a sense of karma, an ending, a definition to this horrible excess and greed we went through.
And Michael as well, was it kind of important for both of you to keep the audience guessing about his motives and stuff in the film?
Gekko's a completely different character. You don't have to know the old movie. He comes back poor, and he comes back looking up from below. And he works his way back into the system with a book called Is Greed Good? But he comes to the same point at the end of the movie where he has to, as everyone else in the movie does, which is, what do you do with money? Can you walk away with it at the end of your life? You know, it's a fork in the road, and he has a daughter who will not talk to him, and he has to decide. It's a fork in the road. His decision is human, and I think he has a heart. I don't think it's, but it's a calculated one too. There's still the old reptile in Gordon. He hasn't. In many ways, he's the same person, but he has a heart.
Were you also kind of playing with his celebrity as well? Because when he's addressing that crowd and stuff in his book, he kind of becomes a celebrity, doesn't he?
Yeah, he speaks to the crowd as a celebrity. He's written, we know who he is. But he turns his messages around completely, and he's playing the other side of the coin, which is greed doesn't work, and why.
Cool. You've got an amazing cast as well, and some very senior pros as well. But I kind of wondered what drew you to Shia and Carey Mulligan in particular as the kind of the newcomers.
I lucked into. I mean, the idea of the movie was it would be 3 generations. Josh Brolin would be the middle generation, and Shia and Carey would be a younger one. And I think it's great to do a 3-generation movie for me, because each one, we follow 6 different stories. Susan Sarandon is the mother of Shia, and and Frank Langella is the older banker, Gekko's generation. So it's really 3 generations in this movie. I love it. And if you include Eli Wallach, it's 4. Shia and Carey are idealistic compared to Charlie Sheen's generation. He believes in an alternative energy company, and he's trying to capitalize it. She's an internet activist, and in New York. So it's an interesting collision of values.
Do you think Hollywood does do enough to address kind of the economic situation and the political situation that's happening, basically?
Hell no. I mean, you're talking about a very complex issue of intersection of where society is now and going, and who knows the answers. I'm just looking around me and trying to decide, trying to use this as a background. I mean, I'm not doing a documentary, you know that. It's a personal story, but it's just tough stuff to do. I mean, financial movies, they're not going to be done very much by Hollywood because there's no guns and there's no action in it. So you got to figure out ways of creating tension in a very complex world where people don't understand some of the language, like leverage or derivatives or discount windows, stuff like that.
You mentioned documentaries as well. I wondered, had you seen Inside Job?
I've done 6 documentaries. I'm working on a new one, which is 3 years in the making, called The Untold History of the United States, which is about our national security state. But that's a documentary. You're going right to the point. You're trying to make your point. In a feature, it's a drama, and you're trying to tell a story through people. So it's not so direct.
Do you know what your next narrative feature is? Not
if I did, I wouldn't tell you, but I don't. I have working on 3 or 4 things, and it depends on how the script and the budgets and the cast come.
Okay.